Hey guys, I wanted to check in on my 3 week post patellar tendon rupture surgery. It's been exactly 3 weeks since I've had my surgery. Um, I wanted to just let you know kind of what's been happening over the last week and what kind of progress and setbacks I might have had. So, right after my 2 week appointment, I came home last week, and within a day, I had kind of decided I wanted to try uh, walking without any kind of crutch. Um, so, I put the crutches aside, did a couple steps. I felt a little bit uncomfortable about it, but literally within minutes, I just was like, you know what, I need to go for this, and I kind of just pushed the crutches aside and have been walking without them ever since. Now, of course, there's a limp, and your leg is straightened in the brace, but after a day, it started feeling better, and then a day after that, it felt better and better and better. So now it is much easier to walk around without them, and I haven't used the crutches in over a week. Um, Now that is with doctors' orders saying that you can weight bear as tolerable. I think a lot of people do stay on the crutches for about 6 weeks or so. So I mean, really, it is going at your own pace. But that's what I decided. I wanted to build my strength back up and not use the crutches anymore. So that was a big milestone for me. Um, I have a follow-up appointment next week with my surgeon for the 4 week mark, just to check everything is going well. I did start PT. My first PT session, I was a little frustrated with. I ended up going there, filling out a lot of paperwork, and then I talked to the doctor for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then that was it. And they scheduled my next appointment. Um, I did go to my next appointment. I went today actually, and this appointment, basically, I consulted with the therapist. He massaged my leg a little bit, kind of just took an assessment of the bending. I didn't get an exact, degree of flexion or anything, but it hurt. So let me tell you that, like when they try to bend your leg, it hurts. It feels kind of like your leg shouldn't be bending that way, and it feels like if they pushed it too much, like the entire knee would just like collapse again, and that the tendon would like tear in half. Now, of course, that wouldn't happen, but that's what it feels like. After the bending, he followed up with just some more kind of stretches and moving around the leg, and then ended with some e-stimulation on the calf and on the quad. So that was kind of my experience. I'm a little frustrated that it wasn't more than that. One thing that that you'll find out here is that you need to go at your own pace. So even though it's tempting to look at all these videos that people have and see their progress, your circumstances are not going to be the same. I think I touched on this a little bit in the last video, but your injury is not the same, your surgeon's not the same, your PT people are not going to be the same as anyone else's. So you're going to go at your own kind of pace, and as long as you reach the end goal of being able to do everything you did before, then that's all that matters. If it's a few weeks that make the difference, in the long run, it's worth it. So that's a trap that I'm still falling into. I'm very guilty of that. I think I'm ahead of pace. I haven't used 2 weeks, and I haven't, 2 weeks post-surgery, and I got rid of my crutches. I think a lot of times they tell you to keep them for 6 weeks, but, and so in that regard, I think I'm ahead of pace, but I think that the PT sessions, I wish would go a little faster, but I'm just impatient. But like I said, the end game is all that matters. I have been doing stuff around the house. I've been doing, calf raises. I've been doing passive bending. I'm supposed to get to 60 degrees by next week. I think I'm on my way. I will tell you one thing that you wouldn't probably expect, is that, so once So I bend my leg, several times per day in a chair. I sit at the edge of a chair and kind of just let gravity bend my leg while my brace is still on. And the dial is turned to 60 degrees, so it won't go past that. Now, when you wake up and the bend is good, and when you wake up in the morning, the knee is stiff all over again. So it feels kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So when I try to bend my knee in the morning, it barely bends. And then you have to, sit there and give it a few tries, give it a few minutes to get loose, and then it will start to go again. That's something that, I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting, to basically make progress, and then, the morning comes and it feels like it goes away. Now, saying that, it is kind of normal now that I'm thinking about it, because your leg's still immobilized overnight. Even if you take the brace or loosen the brace or take it off or whatever, if your leg is straight, it's not, the scar tissue is still going to be there, and everything gets stiff and swollen all over again. So that's something I've had to deal with, but the bend is getting better every single day. Let's see. And the only other thing I want to touch on is that, a lot of these videos you see, these people aren't medical professionals. If you're not comfortable doing something, don't do it. Obviously the surgeon is a surgeon for a reason. PT people know what they're doing for a reason. I would say do try to push your leg a little bit further than you think, because I think it is very doable, but don't be stupid, and don't, just because someone says something on a YouTube video, don't do it. I think just in general, it's good just to know what you're going to kind of expect, but take everything with a grain of salt. Other than that, I don't have like a ton of pain. I would say there is definitely soreness in the leg, and it's super stiff. I'm going to include a couple of videos just of my PT session, and also just kind of maybe a couple things I've been doing around the house. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Other than that, I'll probably check in either after PT later this week or after my surgeon's appointment next week. Thanks.